let's take this clutch out. 8mm bolts, all of them are the same except for this one for your drain tube overflow for your gas tank. It's got a strap on it, same size, it just takes the strap, and this one is shorter. It got a crankcase bolt in there, so it's a hair shorter, but other than that they're all the same. Jerk all these things out. A million videos people taking these clutches out, but I'm gonna put a Gen 2 clutch in here, so I said one more video ain't gonna hurt. So see if we can't get this done, maybe give you some helping hints. 8mm bolts, 89 inch-pounds is what they're supposed to be torqued to. This drill right here, if you click it about twice, it's about 89 inch-pounds. Definitely not more, could be less now it's wore out, but so I use it just to tighten the covers up, nothing that important. So I'd love using my drill. Wiggle this, got 2 dowel pins, one top and one bottom. Cover might fall off, might have to wiggle it just a little bit. Get that out. Where you at? There we go. It's leaking, of course. You can see it right down in there, it's leaking. So we're gonna change the gasket. I think they recommend every time you take that cover off, change the gasket. I don't think nobody does that, but definitely gonna have to do it this time. You can see chromatic gasket right here, but you can see when you use these for the first time, they do crush down and make a wonderful seal. You start reusing them, you ain't got that new soft material anymore. You just keep on flattening out what's there, and it loses its purpose. But anyway, we're gonna change it out. Ain't a big deal. Love that chromatic stuff. 10mm bolts, we torqued them down to 89 inch-pounds also. So I don't pull one all the way out before I do the other ones. We pull them out easy in the star pattern. If you want to do that, go ahead. I've seen people do it. I ain't doing it. This is all motor. It got nitrous on it, but we ain't doing that for what we're gonna make these next few videos. We're not using no nitrous. It's a stock motor. You know, you put a little nitrous on it if you want, and it ain't gonna hurt none. That's what I had, but like I said, we don't want to. We're making a video, and we don't want to jeopardize the questions here. So anyway, star pattern. Take all these clutch springs out. Like, we got some heavy springs in this one. Like I said, it's a hand clutch bike, and so like I put 3 heavy springs in there. You can see the difference. Put a little more clutch pressure on there. If you do that, you got to put your slave support on there too, on the other side. If you put heavy springs in there, you'll be busting that stuff. Take all those springs out, and them bolts. Pull your hat off right here. You got a pusher with some bearings in there, clutch rod pusher, and of course you got a washer down here. Don't forget that. Oil does like to hold that thing right there. So here's all that crap. Let's take this clutch out right quick. These fibers and steels. Like I said, it's hand clutch bike, so ain't been out forever too long. When the last time I had this out there, but yeah, there you go. Burn up steels right there. Probably warped too, you know, for sure. I think we went back over another video, laying that on a piece of glass, something flat or something, using your feeler gauges, get your tolerances and all that. With them right there, you know, I'm sure they warped and all that. We're not going to reuse them. We'll check those fibers and save those if we can. But those steelies, you know, if they're glazed over, you know, you can use a Scotch-Brite or whatever, and you know, you might can save some of them as long as they're flat. But I don't think we're gonna mess with them. We'll have us some frisbees or something, make some wind chimes or something out of those things. Just jerk all these fibers and steels out right here. If we can get them. On too many MTC clutch pick tools, knuckle handles, magnetic bottoms. You can get those steels out. Love these things. I got them at Rockingham maybe a few years ago. Eric down there, and of course, you know, you don't have to pay shipping. He's down there at the track, and I seen them, had to have them. So in fact, I got 2 sets of them. I keep one in the trailer, so I don't have to carry them back and forth. I've been very blessed to be able to afford them. I think it was 30 bucks maybe for those. So been very blessed to have that. Let's see, check this thing out right quick. All right, last fiber, and then you got two rings. One's flat and one's curved. Two damn bad boys. You'll see one's flat, one's curved. Curved part goes out like that. Don't go in, it goes out. Curved part. Have to have it. And then of course your last fiber right there. So we got a nut right here to take this clutch cam off. They want you to take a little punch down tool and punch in them groove right there to lock this thing in. I did on this one, but very long time ago. I'm actually going to shave that off, but you can put a 30mm socket on here and hit it in reverse. Hold your inner clutch hub in, hold it down, and put the socket in reverse and take this off, and it's going to look like a metal pinata going around, metal flying around everywhere and all that crap, and I don't like it. We're going to open this thing up enough. Anybody with a track, we're going to open this thing up enough, it ain't going to matter anyway. So, but I don't worry about the thing coming looser. All that. We got homemade clutch hub tool. This is just a bunch of steels welded together, grinded smooth. Just welded some junk I had around the house. If I had another chance, I wouldn't weld all these together. I'd weld about half of those. It's just real heavy and there's no need for it. But you know, it's nice to have. They sell something for it, but you know, I enjoyed making that one. 30mm socket, get that thing in reverse. About to get loud. So like I said, metal flying around everywhere because you're shaving that off, not punch down tool. But I take a side grinder and we'll grind that thing smooth just to make a flat nut right there and put it back on. I don't like that. Got a washer right here, it's curved. So you'll see this washer is curved right there. Curved that way. You want the curved part to go towards the motor right there. Nut, washer, and then your clutch cam. And then of course track boys know this thing's welded up. You know, got to have it, keep all that bucking and all that junk down. I think, you know, Brock sells a ultralight and some junk. I think Carpenter sells a ring that goes on there, but anyway, take that out of there, and then you got your inner hub. Jerk that bad boy out. Dirty. We're gonna clean all this stuff just like down in that basket. We're gonna take some brake cleaner and we're gonna clean all that, make them look brand new, get all that gunk out of there, all that grease, and we're gonna clean all this junk up even though we ain't gonna use it. You got another washer right here, flat washer. Put that to the side, and then you have your sleeve, needle bearings, and then your outer hub. So you just take a magnet, stick it on one of the two is going to come out, either the needle bearings or the sleeve, and just wiggle it just a little bit, enough to get you a handful of grip right there. Push it to the side to hold it, and grab with your hand. Hold your outer clutch up so it don't fall. Just pull that thing out. You don't want to put any force pressure, scratch, anything like that. You don't want to scar anything up right here. Pull that sleeve out, and then pull your outer clutch to the left, and it'll come out, and you'll see your oil pump gear back there. I don't believe I've never seen it stay on. It'll always fall off, but there's your outer clutch basket and your oil pump gear right here. Right, this thing is concaved, right? It recesses in right here, and then it's flat on this side. You want the recessed part going towards your basket, right? So it's flat, just like that. Recessed part going towards the basket. If you do it the other way, you'll see that oil pump gear is sticking out past the basket. You don't want that. Put it towards the basket right there. You've got enough trouble leaving the line with this boat. You don't want any trouble with that anything warp or not aligned, scratching, all that. You got one more washer right here. This thing is curved on the back side, right? So you'll see it is curved. you want that curve port towards the motor, towards the crankcase. So it's as simple as that. Ain't a big deal. Take it apart, put it back together. Watch this video 100 times. That nut that we talked about, that is 68.5 inch-pounds. 68.5 foot-pounds. Don't do inch-pounds. It will come off in. I think Climbers calls it 75 foot-pounds. You want to torque that too, after you shave it off, of course. But let's go ahead and look at this service manual. I'll show you about this. Here's your washer, your thrust washer. Where you at? Right there you are. The camphor side of the thrust washer faces towards crankcase side, so that's important. And then oil pump drive gear faces primary driven side. So there's your oil pump gear. So you know, service manager tells you how to do it. It is important to have that stuff like it is. So easy stuff. Get used to it. You need to know how to do it. Have a good one.